goes to Tyson as the Cavs dissect that double perfectly once again.
Hear about it now. Big three by the Rook.
Oh, steal by Jerome! How do you like that?
So we finally got to witness the debut of Deandre Hunter in a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform, and with Max Strus as a late scratch, he was inserted into the starting lineup. And boy did Hunter look good in wine and gold. And the Cavs defense instantly looked like it had a higher ceiling. I know the Timberwolves went cold, but we were 7 minutes into this game, and the Wolves still did not have a field goal. It was actually nuts. And Hunter in the twin towers of Mobley and Allen just was wearing the Wolves starting lineup down, forcing them to call 2 timeouts before even getting on the board. Hunter looked a little anxious on his first few shots, but from what I saw when he was settled in, he looks like a guy that's easily going to be able to score over 15 a game, even with all the firepower that the Cavs have. And he looks like he's going to be a great teammate, and when things do get stagnant, he's not afraid to drive in and draw a foul. But yeah, the defense was insane in this one, and as the Cavs get healthy and get Dean Wade and Okoro back, man, I can't even imagine how good this team is going to be. I know the league still doesn't take them serious. I saw this team dropped in the power rankings, but that's okay. Clearly nobody understands what's going to happen in a few weeks when everybody is playing. I truly do believe that Deandre Hunter levels this team up above Boston. Obviously it's still a close matchup, but this whole time, all Cleveland was missing was a two-way wing. And now they have one, and I want to talk about what we saw from Hunter in this game. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so as I already talked about, the Cavs defense from the jump came out aggressive, and they made life impossible for Minnesota. And this Cleveland attack came in waves. As soon as Hunter and Garland subbed out, it was Jerome as usual that came in and was just a huge spark. And I still just can't get over some of the different things that he does. There was a play where after a 3, he basically stole the inbounds pass and hit a leaning forward 3 as time ran out to end a quarter. That was the knockout punch. And then there was also a play where the ball was going out of bounds and he jumped out to grab it, launched it back in, and then got the ball back after reestablishing himself in bounds, and then he dished it off to Hunter, who drew a shooting foul. Jerome was 4 of 8 from the floor. He was perfect from the line with 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists, so pretty much a normal stat line, which is just absurd. And then Sam Merrill had 9 points and a big 6 rebounds, and all 5 of the Cavaliers starters were in double digits. And in the second half, Donovan Mitchell just took over and could not miss. He was toying with his old teammate and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert. He was an ultra efficient 10 of 14 from the floor, putting up 23 points. Evan Mobley was a stat sheet stuffer and was also very efficient. He led the team with 28 points with 10 rebounds and 6 assists. He was 12 of 19 from the floor, and he also had 4 blocks as well. I know Mobley isn't Wemby, but he certainly has the ability to put up his level of numbers on both the offensive and defensive side of the floor. But now I want to see it against Boston. We know he can do it against everyone else. He's got to do it against the Celtics when the lights are the brightest. Deandre Hunter did start this game, but he only played 22 minutes. But in those minutes, he scored 12 points, and the big thing he did was he started off the game setting the tone by completely clamping up Anthony Edwards. And the Timberwolves just were never able to recover. Like, he completely clamped him and frustrated him to the point where he should have got teed up multiple times. And yes, Ant-Man did have 44 points, but he missed 15 shots, and the Cavs' philosophy was to basically let Ant get his and lock up everyone else. And they did it to perfection, because outside of Edwards, the next highest scorer was Dillingham off the bench with 13, and some of his points came in garbage time. Jarrett Allen had another underrated performance in this game. It's not going to get a lot of headline, but he played 26 minutes and racked up 14 points and 13 rebounds, which is not easy to do against the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and he was 6 of 8 from the field. And there were multiple times where Mobley got beat and he made the recovery, forcing a miss or grabbing a big rebound. I know sometimes when Mobley and Allen are without each other, the player that is on the court gets exposed, but I think that just shows how much Mobley and Allen need each other and can coexist. Because I remember the days when people said this front court wouldn't work together because of spacing. But now that the Cavs have a wing in Deandre Hunter that can knock down open shots and is having his best scoring season of his career, and now that Mobley can knock down an occasional open 3, now we are seeing the dominance of the Frobley in full effect. And they make each other better. And they make the backcourt so much better because Garland and Mobley and even Jerome don't have to exhaust themselves on the defensive end just to keep up with their size. They can just play straight up and defend the threes, and if they get beat, then so be it. because you got so much length back there behind them. It's crazy that we are already almost at the All-Star break, and who would have thought the Cavs would be 43-10 before the season started. I know there's still a lot of work to do, and there still is that underlying skepticism about if the Cavs really are contenders because of some of their struggles with Boston and that blowout loss they had at OKC, but everyone just needs to take a moment, hold their horses, take a deep breath, and just appreciate how far this team has come. And as they add Hunter into the mix of things and he gets comfortable, and the Cavs get healthy by getting Dean Wade and Okoro back, who are both phenomenal defenders, it's going to be a scary time in the land. And people are going to wake up to it. I know it's crazy and it would require a 20-game winning streak, but with this squad and the reinforcements that are about to come, I still do think 70 wins is possible. I think the Cavs can do it with 2 losses to spare. They kind of had a few weeks where they ran into a wall, but they are completely back. They are clicking on all cylinders, and most importantly, this team is just having fun out there. The great thing about adding Hunter to what the Cavs already have is just the fact that off nights don't even really matter anymore. If Mitchell is ever feeling off or just is cold, he can have a game where he only plays 20 minutes while other guys carry the load. And like I said, with Okoro and Dean Wade being elite defenders, if you thought the first quarter today was crazy, just wait until they are back. And I would love to see Dean Wade stay healthy for a long stretch of games. I'm not going to call him Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons or anything like that. I'm not going to get myself in trouble by saying something outrageous, but he does get injured very often. And small injuries turn into big injuries way too much. I'm not saying it's his fault, but it's definitely been rough with him because I felt like we went through the same thing last year. And the Cavs need Wade. I mean, they were 35-0 or something ridiculous like that when he started. And I think it's because of the size he provides and that shooting on the wings. It was kind of sad after this game. I was just watching the post-game show and it was just Tristan Thompson there with no George Niang. But at the end of the day, it's just the nature of this business, and I 100 out of 100 times would have brought Deandre Hunter to this team. It seems like he is exactly what the Cavs needed, and hey, they are still going to stay dangerous no matter what. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews following this W against Minnesota.
And I'm thinking, you get Isaac and Dean back. Now you got, who knows? Not to get ahead of ourselves, but, you could play Deandre at the 2, Dean at the 3, Isaac at the 4, any combination of those guys with Don or so just gives us another, elite defensive wing who makes threes. And he's low usage too. He just, keeps it simple and makes the right play. Really good debut for him.
That's really all I have to say for this video. Let me know what you thought about Deandre Hunter's performance in the comments below. And if you made it to this point and enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.